Hello and welcome to Not So Awesome Review. And today we're looking at the Transformers Studio series of Bumblebee. This is number 1 in the line, and it's actually a partnership between Tommy Takara and Hasbro. Tommy Takara being the company that does these in Japan, Hasbro obviously being the ones that do them over here. And by them working together, I mean, from what I've read and seen online, these are basically the same figures that are being released in Japan. Usually in Japan, they get like a variant of what we get, and usually it's nicer than what we get. So, yeah, a few things to note here is that this is based off of the first movie, and this entire line, studio series, are actually all Transformers just from the movies, the Michael Bay movies, and it is cool to kind of see, hopefully, get everybody and get them on, hopefully, a decent enough scale that they all scale well to each other. Updated sculpts and all of that stuff. And I gotta say, I really do like how he looks. I don't have a Bumblebee in this earlier version. This is like his first appearance, beat up Camaro version of himself, and I do like it. Right away, I can tell you right now, there are some things that I really like about it, and some things that I kind of wish they had done a little bit more of. But first of all, he does roll back and forward. He can carry his blaster gun thingy on the back of his trunk, and these things kind of stick out a lot. But that's actually where you plug this in. But if you don't want it there for whatever reason, you think it's ugly, well, guess what? You don't connect it. That's really all you have to do if you don't want it there. But it's a good place to put it if you don't want to lose it. Though, like I said, it does tend to fall off. So you can see it just plugs in like that, and he can more or less roll. So he has a car. He does do that. Clear. I like it, but I'm not a fan of like looking at the inside and not seeing car parts. It can't really be avoided. I mean, I think it's the alternity line and alternators that have like the seats and everything inside, but then they don't look good when they transform. I mean, some of them look fine, but some of them don't look that great. So can't really fault them for that. Another thing I want to talk about really quick is that the packaging does kind of double as a little display. You can see right here, if you want to put your car on there, or you want to put the actual transformer on there, and I'll put a picture of this up probably at the end of the video so you guys can get a little bit better look. But you can see, sits there perfectly fine. You can have it transformed sitting there. So it's just a little bonus if you want it like that, though I'm definitely not going to use it. Yeah, so when you get him, he is transformed. So I wanted to just point that out right now. I put him in his car mode so you guys can see how he looks. And yeah, you can see right there Bumblebee's head and everything tucked away. These pieces, I wish they could go in a little bit more so you don't see them hiding here too much, but at least they made it look like the exhaust, kind of, so I guess it's alright. The paint on it, the black on it looks nice and everything. Let me focus up here. And the silver is alright, the headlights look good. It's minimal paint. It's a $20 figure. Don't expect like high quality masterpiece level stuff here, but for what you get, it's not bad. The tires look okay. The doors are actually painted, and I want to say this part might be painted, and there's a few other parts, mostly on the body right here, that's painted yellow. And I really do wish they had gone over it and done the whole thing in that yellow, because it would look so much better. I don't know what it is about the the color yellow in plastic, but it almost never looks good. It almost always looks cheap, at least to me. Here it isn't that bad, but you can definitely see the difference in the parts that were painted, and if the entire figure was in the yellow that you see down here, I think it would look good, though it is scratching off a little bit on the arm here, which kind of sucks. You can see the silver underneath, but it's still nice to see that. And really not much else to say about it. It's in its alt mode here. But yeah, I'm going to transform this off camera, because if you guys have seen any of my other Transformers reviews where I've tried to transform these on cameras, it doesn't go well. It just doesn't. For whatever reason, I'm good with puzzles and all that stuff. I can't transform this and explain what I'm doing at the same time. You'll just be watching me in frustration trying to figure this out, maybe make fun of me, and I don't need that. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. I really don't care, honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna just transform it, and you guys will check it out right now. So here he is, fully transformed, and I gotta say that it's not the smoothest transformation. The most annoying part being the hood of the car kind of having to detach from these two front pieces. It gets stuck either transforming in and out of alt mode. It's just kind of a pain to get in there and have it done right. Yeah, other than that, pieces do tend to fall off, particularly the windshield and the bottom half of it does snap back on, so it's not really a problem. And his arm does tend to fall off. I've had this one fall off too, but this one comes off a lot more, which is understandable because it is the one that you use to change out for his arm cannon, though kind of annoying that it's not stronger. I mean, normally I'd be like, well, it's a new series. They're just getting used to how to do this. But I mean, it's Hasbro and Takara. You would think that these guys have been doing these so long, they would know how to keep the joints and pieces from falling off. Now, we'll say it is nice that they don't break or anything, but at the same time, it would still be nice that they wouldn't, fall off so easily. Now, is he 100% accurate? I'm going to go with no. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm almost positive he's not going to be 100% accurate because he is, like I said, a $20 figure, but he is really close. And one thing I really like about it is the chest piece right here. Normally, we get them and the Transformers, whatever. Bumblebee usually has everything straight like that, but they added the articulation here so you can curve it so it's more screen accurate. And I just really like that look. I've always liked that kind of look on Bumblebee where it's kind of just bent in like that. It's nice and it looks cool. There's no license on the license plate plaque, but you can see where it is. And it is kind of a bland gray. Could use a little bit of a black wash, maybe painting some pieces silver or something so it stands out. The arms, like I said, are painted a nice yellow, and I really like it. It just really sucks it. Mine's a little scratch right there. And on the legs as well. The face, I want to say, I mean, let me bring this as close as I can and focus here. I want to say that looks really good. That looks really, I mean, that it looks like Bumblebee to me. I don't know if this mode had a mask, for when he's fighting. It would have been cool if he does have it to include it, but I honestly don't remember. So there is that. Did he even fight in this mode? I don't think he did. Not that I remember. So maybe that's why. We do have the doors, back here where they should be. Though they're not curved like they should be. They should be curving a little sideways up. But it's fine. I take it like that. The wheels are here kind of. I don't think they're supposed to be like in the movie, but again, it's fine. I don't really mind. He doesn't have a giant backpack. He does have a little bit of a backpack thing going on, but it's not too bad considering you're hiding most of it right there. And it's not a bad figure. I actually really do like it. I can't, compare it to the other Bumblebees from this version of him anyway. But I will say I do like it. I think, detail wise, he came out really good. You see all the sculpt work, all of the little details on it. You can tell that somebody did take their time in sculpting in and making it look as best as they could for the price point that it is. The face, the arms, the paint job, all of it is done really well for the price point. And like I said, you can remove his arm right here and plug in his cannon. And this has like a little hexagon shape thing going on. So, you can only plug it in certain ways. Believe this goes in like that. And there we have Bumblebee with his one attack cannon. And he does, have a nice little swivel right there at the waist, which I think is awesome. Which actually, let's just run down his articulation really quick. You can look left, right. You can look up a little bit. Can't really look down. And there's no pivot, but you can look up sideways, which is, I don't know, that's cool. That's cool to me anyway. His arm can go up about that high. Can it go up a little bit higher? No. It can go down a little bit more if you want to push down that peg. His arm can bend exactly 90. And his wrist can go in and back, and that's about it. He does have a swivel right here at the elbow. He does have that waist joint that goes, I want to say, yeah, it goes all the way around. He can kick up really high. He can kick back really high. He can go out basically all the way. He can bend his knee just under 90 degrees, and he can move his leg kind of in weird directions because like he can move it forward and back, but it mostly just pops out when you do that. And you can kind of get a pivot if you do something like that, but it's not going to be like a nice pivot. So a little bit limited there, but for a Transformer, especially for, again, the price. Not bad at all. I like it. I really do. I think, he came out good for $20. Yes, I think it's definitely worth it. But before we get into that, let's just move on to some size comparisons. So here he is compared to some other Bumblebee alt mode figures. I have way too many of these. I honestly have way too many of this character. Technically, this is Goldbug. It's a Takara one. You can see the gold right there, but it's also basically Bumblebee, and you get the Hasbro one. I don't know why, but yeah, he isn't the biggest, isn't the smallest, and moving on. He is compared to a few other movie versions of himself. I think this was the last movie, and then the movie before that. I don't remember the names of the movies. There's so many of them. I honestly, I know Age of Extinction is one. I want to say that's the one from this one, but it could be this one. I honestly don't remember the name of the last Transformers movie. I haven't even seen it. I want to see it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I still want to see it. So, yeah, there you go. Your size comparison. You can see he is the smallest of the three, and it's cool. I like it. Not really a problem here. Don't have any other versions of him from the first movie. I wish I did, but now I'm glad I actually do. So, it's nice to see it lined up with these other guys. So here he is compared to his robot modes of the other two versions I have. And yeah, definitely this newer Bumblebee here definitely wins, not just in articulation and in detail, but like just in every aspect of it. He has a waist swivel, which is awesome because these both don't. I mean, look at the hands here and the sad hands we got with this guy. That's really disappointing. I did not like the fact that his hands were molded to the doors. He almost has the same problem, but his mostly just don't move. There's no waist swivel. I don't even know if I transformed him all of the way. The head sculpts on all of them look decent. I don't have a problem with any of that, but this one, I feel like it's lacking armor on the bottom. It looks okay, but it's not great. This one, although it has the armor on the bottom, it actually kind of looks cool. There's no paint on him. There's no paint differentiating what's going on down here. There is paint like around here and stuff, which is nice. But aside from that, the arms really, I'm not a fan of that at all. I feel like that is really cheap, and the articulation on him is good. The only thing I like about this guy more is that he does come with his mask, even though it doesn't kind of go down all the way, and he doesn't even have the Autobot logo on top of his head like the other two. I don't know if he's supposed to, because he is kind of covert. I'm not Transformer mode, I believe, in high octane mode. I think it's from that movie where they don't want to be found, so there is that, but kind of disappointing. Anyways, like I said, middle one definitely wins out of these three. So here is compared to a few more Bumblebees, and these definitely my favorite in articulation and detail for the movie ones. Obviously, none of these other ones are movie ones aside from the one in the back here, which definitely the best alt mode because it is just a die-cast car. Uh, awesome masterpiece version Bumblebee, great. All right, kind of not that great. He's cool. Legion version, which is reminiscent of the original Bumblebee, and Goldbug, who I just love that head sculpt. I really, really do. I like it so much. It's one of my favorite figures. And yeah, I'm glad to add him to the collection. And lastly, here he is compared to Masterpiece Optimus Prime, this being the one that came out last year, Toys R Us Entertainment Earth exclusive. Got it at Comic Con, and I love it, and I just wanted to do a side by side comparison. I didn't do a review on him. I don't know why. I probably should have. He's definitely one of my, if not my favorite Transformer. And yeah, you can see size difference is pretty good. So overall, I am happy with this Bumblebee. There are a few issues, like his joints aren't the strongest. He is a little bit back heavy. It took me a little bit of effort to get him into this pose without him falling backwards. His arm does tend to fall off a little bit because it is switchable. So it's not really a defect, it's just they didn't make the joint tight enough so that it won't fall off. But the added articulation, the fact that his waist can move, the hands being on a hinge, all of that stuff, I think it came out really good. For the price point of what it is, I think it is definitely worth the pickup. He is definitely the best movie version of Bumblebee that I own out of the two that I showed you guys earlier. Definitely my favorite now. And I think it will appease collectors and children both alike. Just remember, ultimately this is a kid's toy. It's targeted to kids and parents of kids to give to their kids. So paint defects and stuff like that, they will happen. It is a $20 figure. You got to keep that in mind. But like I said, for collectors, you'll like it too. I'm sure it's no masterpiece version of Bumblebee. That thing looks amazing. I really do want to get one, but for the people who can't afford it or just want this version of Bumblebee, definitely pick it up. I think it's definitely a must buy if you like it. Uh, Anyways, the links Amazon affiliate link down below if you guys want to get your own for retail price. Don't pay those crazy eBay prices. I don't know what people are thinking. They're posting it. Oh, it's so rare. No, it's actually they're all on Amazon aside from the 2 liter classes, which jumped up in price as soon as they sold out on Amazon. But everyone else on there for retail price. So check it out. Like I said, link down below in the description. And anyways, that is my review of 40 Studio Series Bumblebee. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that cool stuff. And I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.